Hi. Um, I just want to welcome you guys to, I guess you could say, episode 2 of my 5-part series. Um, yeah, so as you know, this is a countdown of the top 5 animated shows that need to be on DVD. Yeah, so, I, yeah, yeah. So I hope you continue to enjoy this, and so I guess we'll start right away with my number 4 pick. Number 4.
Biker Mice from Mars. Biker Mice from Mars. Biker Mice from Mars.
Welcome back. Yep, my number 4 pick is the 90s cartoon Biker Mice from Mars. Biker Mice from Mars I actually used to watch way back in the early, it ran from 93 to 96. And I used to watch it back then. I actually have some of the toys. Yeah, I still have some of the toys. Yeah. And so I really like this show. I guess I could tell you what it's about. What it's about is these 3 mice. Wait, who is? Sorry, I just have to check for a minute. I forget. Throttle. Yeah. Yeah, Throttle. Mondo, him right here, and Vinny. And what ends up happening is they live on Mars, but then their planet is being destroyed by these fish aliens called Plutarchians, and so they end up crash landing on Earth, and they make friends with this girl mechanic. Her name is Charlie. I don't think I have a picture of her. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of her, so yeah. But you can see her in the intro. Yeah, and they crash land on Earth. Well, actually in Chicago, and we find out that the Plutarchians are also trying to take over Earth, or trying to steal Earth's natural habitat and whatever. And the lead bad guy, I should know this. Lawrence Limburger. He's kind of like this rich kind of power person. He has this big office building, and he's disguised as a human, but he's actually a alien, a Plutarchian. And yeah, and that's, I guess you could say, the basic story. The Biker Mice from Mars always fighting with Limburger. Yeah, and his monsters. Where he gets these monsters from is there's this other character named Dr. Carbuncle, who has this teleport. We could teleport, I guess, monsters from somewhere in the universe and teleport them down to here. And some of them have weird names. Like one is the Exterminator, like the Terminator. What are the ones? Yeah. What is that? I can't remember all of them. This is different monsters. I guess you could say it's like monsters of the day throughout most of the series. There are a couple two-part episodes, like multi-part episodes, but I think most of the episodes are all like one part, and it's basically them fighting with monsters. I liked it. It was a good show. Another character is Grease Pit. Now Grease Pit is kind of henchman. He's like always fighting with the biker mice. He's just an ordinary human, but he's not a very smart person. He's very clumsy and everything. And yeah, he's very clumsy and he's not a very smart bad guy, but he's always fighting with the biker mice and everything. He's actually voiced by Brad Garrett, who obviously, as you know, is from who played Robert Barone in Everybody Loves Raymond. And so always fighting with him, and so I guess, and then like I said, throughout the series, they're fighting the monsters or with Charles Lindbergh, and also at the end of almost every episode, Charles Lindbergh's building always crumbles. It's kind of funny, like you see his building, boom, crumbles, yeah. It is really not, other than that, them fighting with the monsters, not really much of a continuation, except for, I guess, the first 3 episodes. They do continue into each other. Basically them trying to rescue the mayor of Chicago and whoever, and yeah. And like I said, there are a couple multi-parts. We get introduced to new characters later on, which I can't really say too much about season 2 or 3, because I think it's been a long time since I've seen those. Yeah. And as for the last episode, as far as I know, it was a 3-part episode, and you get it if you can find the VHS. They make it into like one movie kind of thing, and I think it kind of gives a proper ending. It kind of, because the mice, Mondo has like these, I guess, weird eyes. No, not Mondo. Throttle has these weird eyes. Vinny has this like metal mask over his one eye, like he was injured in. And Mondo, this one right here, he has a bionic arm. And yeah, and I guess in the last episode they explain, they explain how that happened, and so I guess in a way it does give a proper ending to the series, but yeah. So the show ran for 65 episodes, and yeah. The show ran for 65 episodes, and yeah, they had Marvel released 3 comics, which I know I have 2 of them, but I think it's basically like based on the first 3 episodes. I think that's all they're based on. It's the first 3 episodes, and so I think I have all 3, but I'm not. I know I have 2 for sure, but I'm not quite sure if I have the 3rd one. And as far as home videos released, well, actually, it was 65 episodes. Like, so it ran for 3 seasons from 93 to 96. And as far as home videos go, I've only have 3 of them. They released a bunch of them. They have this one, The Adventure Begins, which has no cover. Sorry, but that has no cover. The Pits. And Chill Zone, which has like the Christmas episode from the first season. I don't know if they made another one, but yeah. And they have some others. And there's also a bunch released over in the UK as well. And back in 2008, some company released the first season on DVD. But for some reason, they never released any more seasons, and now it's gone out of print. That was back in 2008, and it was only like around for a very short time, and all of a sudden, boom, it gone out of print. So yeah, so I'm hoping that it gets re-released. I'm hoping the show gets re-released on DVD in the future, but I don't know. And some people say, I don't really hear this much, but some people say that it's very similar to Ninja Turtles, but I suppose there are some similarities with it, like with the Charlie, the mechanic who helps them, and she's kind of like April O'Neil, even though April O'Neil's a news reporter and she's a mechanic. That's kind of different. And the mice are from Mars, so you don't hear turtles or alien turtles. So I don't really see that much difference. Well, I mean, I don't see that much similarities between the two. Yeah, like it's basically in fighting with the monster and whatever, and they also want to get back to their home planet as well, which I don't know. Well, actually, I'll get to that in a minute. And I guess I could tell you that back in 2006, it actually did come back for another season, but I guess it was a different series. But it's considered a fourth season because it is a continuation. It's still called Biker Mice from Mars. Yeah, but it takes place years later, and we find out that they're back on Mars. I don't really know too much about it because I've never seen any of the episodes, because the show originally aired over in Europe, and it did air over here in the US near the end of 4Kids, which was the last Fox Saturday morning thing they had. And it only aired there for a couple months before they got rid of the Saturday morning altogether, and it's supposed to air on the CW 4Kids, but for some reason it never went there. And you can find all the episodes online somewhere. Like, I know you can find a bunch here on YouTube, or most of them on YouTube from the season 4. As for the original 3 seasons, for some reason, other than the first season, the season 2 and season 3 are very hard to find for some reason. So that's another reason why I hope they release the show on DVD, because season 2 and 3 are really hard to find. Yeah. So like I was saying, season 4 is, I guess, they end up back on Mars, and then they end up going back to Earth, but this time the main bad guy, like the Plutarchians, I think are still part of the show, but now this time it's these like cat aliens. So these cat monsters are in charge, and like I said, I don't really know too much about it. I heard that it's a bit darker than the original show, but I don't know. And that was awesome. And that show had a couple DVDs released over in Europe, which, just like the original series, also is out of print. So yeah. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, the series on both the original 3 seasons and the newer one were all animated in the Philippines. Yeah. So, I don't really know what to say. This is not really, I couldn't really find much information about it. So, so I just hope the show does get re-released on DVD, like a proper release, in the future, because it came out around the same time as another show, or maybe came out just before, called Street Sharks, which, as you know, got released last year. And so I'm hoping, with that being released, I hope they end up releasing Biker Mice from Mars. But I don't know. Yeah, so I guess, I'm just trying to see if I have any other information here. Trying to think where it's. Yeah, so like I said, some toys. There was a video game released. That's for the Super Nintendo. I never played it though, so I can't say too much about it. As far as the new show go, like the original show ran for 65 episodes. The newer one only ran for 1 season with 28 episodes. So, I would like all 4 seasons to come out, but most preferably the original series. Like like I said, I would like to see the newer series, but I would prefer, like, maybe release the original series first, and then maybe later on release the newer series, or release all together, which would be better. Yeah. So I guess that's it. I don't really see the original. It's just a show I really liked. As far as me liking it more than Ninja Turtles, as much as I like Biker Mice from Mars, unfortunately Ninja Turtles is, I still like Ninja Turtles, and no, that's not going to be on here, because basically all the Ninja Turtles are out on DVD. Well, most of it, except for the 2003 series, but I'll say that right now, that show is not on this series, on this video series, because like I said in my previous video, these are basically shows I feel that are not talked about enough, and Biker Mice from Mars I think really fits in that category of underrated animated shows. Yeah. So I guess that'll be it for this part. My fourth pick, Biker Mice from Mars. So I just want to thank you whoever's watching. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for my number 3 choice. So now we're getting to the top 3, which is that's going to get really exciting. Once I get into my top 3, it's going to get really exciting. Because I think I could find more information on those 3. So stay tuned, and like I said, stay tuned for my number 3. And thanks guys for watching. Bye.